Hello everyone, welcome to today's reading time. Today I'm going to tell you the fiction of The Little Women. Meg, Jo, Beth, and Amy are the Mars sisters. Their father is off to war and they rely on their mother, Marmee, to see them through the hard times of the Civil War. In the first part of this book, the reader is introduced to the characters. Meg is the sensible one, Joe is the tomboy, Beth is the sweet one, and Amy is the artistic and feminine one. The girls are all generous and even give their own Christmas dinner to a poor family. Meg has her first dance and brings Joe along. At the dance, we meet Laurie, the mysterious grandson of the old Mr. Lawrence living next door. His real name is Theodore, but he prefers Laurie because he was teased in school by the girls. The girls all spend a lot of time at the Lawrence's home, all excepting Beth, because she is afraid of old Mr. Lawrence. She stays away. Mr. Lawrence asks if he could have Beth over to play for him. When she does, it creates a lasting bond between them. Old Mr. Lawrence loves her playing so much that he gives her a small piano that had belonged to his deceased granddaughter. The girls have a secret club called the Pickwick Club, in which each of the girls undertakes a separate identity. Amy is punished at school for having pickled limes in the classroom, and Marmee decides to school her at home. One night, Laurie invites the older girls to come see a play at his house, and Amy wants to go along. Jo puts her off and leaves with an attitude. When Jo returns, her precious diary has been burned spitefully by Amy. Jo holds a grudge, but it is all resolved when Amy is almost lost in an accident on the ice. It is hard for Jo to handle that her sister has a boyfriend. When she and Laurie exchange secrets, it is revealed that Mr. Brooke, Laurie's tutor and friend, has been given one of Meg's gloves. One thing the movie leaves out is a camping trip that the girls take with Laurie, where they talk about the dream castles, and Meg tells Laurie to go to college and respect his grandfather's wishes. One day, a letter arrives telling the girls that their father has taken ill and Mommy desperately wants to be at his side, but does not have the means to do so financially. Jo knows that her father needs Marmee, so she sells her hat to get the $25 needed for her mother to take the trip. While she is gone, Beth visits a poor family and takes care of the sick baby. As she is there holding it, the baby dies of scarlet fever and Beth catches it. Meg and Jo care for her and send Amy to stay with Aunt March. Amy loves it there, but talks a lot to the maid who tells her of all the things Aunt March will leave her when she passes on. Amy decides to write her own will in which she leaves something to each of her sisters. Mommy is called for because the doctor fears that Beth will die. When Mommy comes, Beth seems to improve. When the father comes home, Beth is able to play the piano and sing with the family. Mr. Brooke asks Meg to receive his love and she refuses. When Aunt March is consulted on matter, Meg is told that if she were to marry Mr. Brooke, she would be cut off and stricken from the will. Meg decides to love Mr. Brooke to spite her aunt. Laurie tells Jo that she will be the next to marry, and Jo says that she never will. Meg finds married life a difficult juggling act as she brings twins into the world and has arguments with her understanding spouse. Aunt Carol decides to take Amy to Europe with her to study art. Jo is upset because she had longed so desperately to let out of the house, but is contented by the happiness of her sicky sister Beth at her staying. Amy writes the family of her meeting a friend of Laurie's in Europe and hoping that he will propose so that she does not make a poor match like Meg did. Jo decides to go to New York to get Laurie to forget about her. But as she says her goodbyes, he makes it amply clear that it won't be so easy for him to be without her. While Joe is staying with Miss Kiki, she meets a German professor, Friedrich Bayer. She and Professor form a friendship as he teaches her German. When Joe returns for the summer, she and Beth go to the beach and Beth reveals the feeling that she will soon die. Beth is put in a nice room so she can spend her last days with the things and people she loves. One day, while on a walk with Joe, Laurie divulges to her his true feelings of love and asks her to marry her. Joe refuses, saying that she will never love him that way and that she will never marry him. Beth dies in her mother's arms. Joe is devastated by the death of her favorite sister. One day, Professor comes by the house and tells Joe that he will be in town on business for a few days. In hopes of seeing him, Joe goes for long walks. On one such walk, in the rain, she meets him under an umbrella where she consents to marry him. When Aunt March dies, her estate is left to Joe, who makes it into a home for wayward boys. The central theme in Little Women is the need for self sacrifice, which ultimately brings happiness by doing for others, and that one must balance duty to family with personal desires in order to truly grow up. Thank you, children. See you in the next module.